Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Rauha and I am from a beautiful country called Namibia. So in today's video, I will be actually sharing with you guys information on how you can get your Schengen visa. I was already supposed to make this video. I think I did, but I must have lost it somewhere somehow in one of my SD cards. This is actually a new SD card that I'm using because I lost the other one. So I'm going to redo the video and I'm going to try to be as clear and concise as possible so that you guys do not get lost into translation. So for those of you who don't know, basically when you apply for a Schengen visa, you are applying to travel through the Schengen area, which consists of about 27 countries with one visa. So as soon as you have that one visa, you will be able to travel all across these 27 countries. I hope I'm right. There should be 27. So basically, even when you do move around these 27 countries, to most of them you can use the train, the bus, you can drive there, you can hitchhike there, and you don't even need, there are no border checks, so you won't get a stamp at every border that you pass because you're already within the Schengen area. So every time, let's say for example, you are traveling from Germany to say Croatia, you can just get in, you get on your flight and then you land in Croatia and there's no border control. You just enter, you take your bag and you leave, right? So that's the amazing part. So now, back to the question, how do you apply for a Schengen visa? First things first, you need to know what is your primary destination because that really determines the embassy at which you need to go to apply for your visa. Now, two, what is a primary destination? A primary destination is basically the destination that you've chosen, that this is where you want to go first. Now, some people have said that just because you chose, let's say, Germany as a primary destination, it does not mean that you need to go to Germany first. But for me, because I'm African, I'm black, I do not like to break the rules. If they say that this is your primary destination, that's where I go first. Unfortunately, privilege does not come to everyone, and as someone that has traveled so much, I just know that when you are African, especially a person of my color, you need to try and just follow rules and be a law-abiding citizen as much as you can be, right? So let's say I'm going to give you guys an example of how I applied for my Schengen visa. Okay, so first things first, I actually chose Norway as my primary destination. So what you want to do is you want to contact the embassy or consulate of your primary destination. So let's assume that you want to go to Norway, or let me not make it boring. Let's say you want to go to Germany as your primary destination. What you need to do is you need to call the embassy, the German embassy, or you need to email them. Let them know who you are, where you're from, and what you want. So in your email or on your phone call, you have to tell them, hey, I'm Rauha, I'm from Namibia, and I'd like to apply for a Schengen visa, and Germany is my primary destination. Mention what your primary destination is, because that's how they'll know how to help you. So now, what's going to happen is the German embassy via call will tell you exactly what you need to do or the directives that you need to follow to apply for your visa. If not, you can just send them an email and they will send you an email back on how you can apply for your visa, right? So again, I applied through to Norway as my primary destination. So what I did is I called them and they told me to email them instead. So I emailed them and then they wrote me back and they told me that they do not do Schengen visas. It is very possible that your primary destination does not do Schengen visas, but they've got another embassy that handles their visas for them. So in my case, the Norwegian embassy actually directed me to the Finnish embassy in Namibia. So I emailed the Finnish embassy, told them who I am and what I want and where I'm from. And then they told me I could either apply online or I could apply through the embassy. I can just go there. But since I live very far from Windhoek, I thought this is nice. You can actually do an online application. So I clicked the link and then I started filling up my questions, whatever, I don't know what to call it. And it was so easy. Basically, they just ask you stuff like you need to put your name, your surname, where do you want to go, how many countries do you want to visit, blah, blah, blah. Do you have a host or do you not have a host? Your age, date of birth, whatever. Simple questions, yeah? Once you're done, at the top of your form, there is a QR code. And in the email, they also tell you that once you're done with your form, you can send them the number under the QR code. And that's how they'll know that your application is done. So once I was finished with that, I then sent them the QR code. And then they were able to set an appointment for me on when I can come and submit my documents in person. So when you're done filling up the form, Underneath the form, it also tells you what you need to submit at the embassy, but you can also ask the embassy, what am I supposed to bring with, and they'll tell you. So in my case, when I went to the Finnish embassy, I had to submit my bank statement for 3 months, my latest bank statement for 3 months, an ID photo. I had to submit my passport, my full passport. I had to give it to them, and I also had to submit insurance. I got insurance from a company. I'm going to put their contact right below, and I think I paid for my insurance 950 Namibian dollars, if I remember correctly. And I also had to make a payment for my visa processing fee, which was, I think, 1,550 Namibian dollars. And lastly, if you have a host, you are supposed to bring an invitation letter of your host or from your host, which clearly states how long you'll be staying with your host, the dates, and your host needs to clearly state their address, their telephone number, their names, and they need to give you a copy of their passport, and they need to state that you will be staying with them and they'll cover all your expenditures while you're staying there. If you don't have a host, then you're supposed to submit your proof of accommodation, and that is basically it. So when I went there, like I said, you need to be prepared to pay for your visa processing fee. For me, it was 1,550, and the insurance, you also need to pay for it. You can't just reserve it. And again, like I said, it was probably around 900 and something. And another thing which I might have missed is your flight ticket. You need to provide a reservation for your flight ticket. So reservation means that you've reserved the flight but you've not paid for it. And usually to make a reservation, you pay a small amount. Okay, in case your visa does get rejected, then you don't lose too much. But me, I booked my ticket. I did not care because I was like, you know what, you guys are going to give me the visa, there's just no way you're going to reject me. So I've already booked my ticket, and I submitted it in with my application. I didn't even make a flight reservation. Hell no. Right, so after 2 days, they actually sent me a message and an email that your visa is ready for collection. And then I went to the embassy, picked up my passport, and voila. That's all you need to do. So guys, the main thing that I'm trying to say here is, if you apply for a Schengen visa through an agent, you are just doing, I'm sorry, they are just doing for you what you can do for yourself, except they'll charge you more because they need commission because they're doing it for you. So the right thing to do is choose your primary destination, contact the embassy. You can either call them or email them and ask them, how can I apply for my Schengen visa? And then do exactly as they tell you. It does not take long. I think I filled up my form for about 20 minutes, and the reason it even took so long is because my internet was tripping. Like, we had problems with Wi-Fi at home that time, I still remember. Thank you, Telecom. So yeah, other than that, my Schengen visa was done and I was ready to travel. So you also need to indicate the days that you need your visa for. Personally chose 3 months because I know a Schengen visa can be issued for 3 months, and I did actually need 3 months. So I got my visa for 3 months and off I was. Went to Norway, then I went to Germany, now I'm in Austria. From Austria I don't know because I just randomly choose places sometimes. I don't have a solid plan. Sometimes I actually choose places depending on if the flight is cheap. Why not? I can just go there for 2-3 days, maybe 5 days if necessary. Or if maybe I'm using, let's say, blah blah car, then I can just book a blah blah car. Like, that's how I ended up in Austria. I was about to sleep and I just felt like I can't stay another day in Germany, so I went on blah blah car and I checked if there's any car that's going to Austria. So for those of you who don't know, BlaBlaCar is actually an app in Europe that you can use to book a bus or a car. I've read many bad reviews on the bus, but the cars are okay. So you just need to check the driver's portfolio and their reviews. So in my case, it worked out really nice. I had a great driver. She was on time. She was kind. And yeah, the trip was just really nice. And I think I paid 27 euro for it. 27 euro to come from Germany to Austria, and I'm sure if I had booked a flight it would have been more expensive, especially considering that I don't think at this stage I can use my backpack as hand luggage. I've tried, but I can't, and I don't even have a lot of things. I'm going to eventually do a video where I unpack my stuff so that you guys can see what's in my bag, and you'll realize I have nothing. But yeah, it is what it is. So I mean, going with the car was very convenient because then I didn't have to pay for my bag, luckily. So yes guys, that's literally it. So if you want to go to Europe and travel through the 27 countries with one visa, which is called the Schengen visa, this is how you can do it. Just plan well. Do your research. If you've got questions, maybe I can answer them in terms of how you can search for accommodation or how you can go about transport. But don't trust me too much on transport, because personally I've realized that I'm so lazy to learn how to use the bus in Europe. Even in Austria right now, like all I do is walk because I'm so lazy to know how to. But I heard the bus is really cheap. It's like maybe 60 cents or 80 cents euro. So it's not bad. I just haven't had the time to stress myself about it. And you can use the train as well, which is very cheap. I used the train yesterday, but again, I'm just lazy with all these different names and Oga, I'm tired. Like, and yeah, I prefer to walk because you also get to see more of the country and all of that. So yeah, guys, so without wasting more time, that is all for today. If you guys actually liked this video or found it informative, come on, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao!